Hey. Oh, cool. Okay. Hey, so my name is Tim Lin, and I am CEO and co-founder of Neubev company. So this quote by here by Jeff Bezos. I really don't like this. Can you hear me like this? No? Okay. So your margin is my opportunity. I kind of want you guys to have this quote in mind as I'm going to the slide about what ways we're trying to do. So beverages are big business right now. The margins on beverages are super expensive. And so a lot of that has to do with the margins. It's anywhere from 35 to 60%. And so what you pay ends up becoming the water weight, the bottle, the production, everything like that. And so there's a lot of graft within the business industry. So everything from the bottlers, the retailers, the distributors, there's added cost. Even after all of that, there's still huge margins within the industry. So this is to give you an idea of what it looks like. You know, every little arrow is an added cost that's passed on to you. This is getting it on a truck, getting it packaged, paying overhead, and essentially you end up as the consumer paying for it. And so what we want to do, and I'm sorry for all the buzzwords, but we are the Neubev company, and we are here to change the way you drink. And so what we have created is a membership-based, direct-to-consumer beverage service. And what this means is that we have taken the majority of the cost, the stuff that actually costs most money that you're actually paying for, and taken it completely out. And that is the packaging and the water weight. And so this is a pallet of whatever, bottled water, coconut water, whatever, that goes onto those trucks. By taking out the packaging and the water, we have been able to condense it into a 1 gallon bag around this size. And this in here is 500 servings. And so we can actually adapt that to 3 gallons, 5 gallons to replace what would normally go in a pallet. And we put it into our specially designed drink printers. And what we've done is we separated magical color palette. We separated the flavors, the sweeteners, the caffeine, the sparkling, everything that you really want in a beverage, and we put it into a machine to where you can customize it any way you want it. So you can have cucumber water with coconut in it, or with 35 milligrams of caffeine, with sparkling, with all natural agave syrup in it. Any way you want it, we can make it through the machine, and it's all tracked, it's all designed especially for you. And the best thing about it is that there's absolutely no waste, there's no bottle waste, there's no having to put this heavy pallet onto a truck and shipping it, because if you know anything about shipping, you pay for the weight. And these are especially designed for your offices, gyms, spas, pretty much where you spend the majority of the day. The average person spends maybe 30 minutes a day in the grocery stores, whereas you spend 8+ hours in your office, and then maybe another 30 minutes in your spa, your gym, et cetera, et cetera. This is designed for where you actually live, work, and play. Okay, so we are able to do all that for the low price of $12.99 a month, unlimited. And so would you rather pay anywhere from 35 cents for a single can of Essence water to cold brew coffee, which is up to $12, $18 for a big bottle? What you might get in a vending machine, $1.50, or you can pay less than 50 cents a day for all you can drink. And a part of that is because we did cut out a lot of the logistics. We are a direct-to-consumer. And if you notice, there's actually 2 fees on the right-hand side. And this segues into how it is we actually get to market and the market we're trying to address. Right here on the bottom left is our entry point, which is called the HOD, the home and office delivery. These guys are your vending machines, your water delivery guys, your coffee service. It's worth an estimated $1.6 billion. That's how we get in, and that $59.99 from the previous slide, that price right there is what the importer pays, and that undercuts any and every service that's currently on the market for a business of 30+. And that's how we get into the locations. On the other hand is what the $12.99 is for the individual users. So as an individual employee, you have the option of signing on to our service and getting all you can drink in your office. And our demographic, our target, is what's called the LOHAS demographic. It is called the lifestyle of health and sustainability. It is worth a whopping $290 billion. That target is people who are pushing this new trend in organic, all natural, farm to table, sustainable businesses. Like, they're willing to pay extra for businesses that focus on, being a better corporate citizen, or better environmentalist. And so and obviously, since we are a water company, we are addressing the $18.5 billion bottled water industry in the U.S. And so just to give you an idea of like how our cost goes, one of these costs us $20. And for 500 servings, we can pump out, it comes down to around 3 to 4 cents per serving. And so our machines cost around $1,500 to $2,000. We've actually brought this cost down a lot from when we first started, from $4,000 down to this price, which is our target goal. In order for us to break even on $12.99 user, they would have to drink over 433 16-ounce servings of flavored water a month, which comes down to 19 a day. So there's huge opportunity for us to grow, and there's huge margins. So for us to it creates a huge value for our end users. Kind of a little revenue potential thing at 500 units, averaging about 30 people per machine, including the $59.99 importer fee. We can potentially make almost $225,000 a month of recurring revenue, or $2.6 million a year recurring. Okay, so one of the things we're really focusing on is we're more than just a vending machine or a soda fountain. I think that's not exciting enough for investors to really jump onto. And what we want to do is a Neubev for a new day. What that means is your subscription, we want to get to where your subscription is part of your entire life. So where you can wake up in the morning, get your coffee from work, you can go to the gym, you can get your pre-workout protein shakes, post-workout supplements. You can go to the spa, get your nice rose water, get your nice cucumber water, essence, whatever you may want. And also when you go out to play, maybe as part of the subscription, you get access to bargains at events or bars or anything like that. Anywhere where our machines are capable of doing. And the technology we built into it, we can actually dispense. Pretty much, if you can drink it, we can make it inside the machine based on the ingredients we have inside of it. Our competition. So obviously, the beverage industry is incredibly competitive. You get the big two, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. The biggest analogy would be the Coca-Cola Freestyle machines. They're on the more high end because they retail for around $36,000 a piece. Ours is much cheaper than that. And it's because we use industry standard equipment that's already been available. Oh, there's good. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, and so our direct competitor is a company called Bevy. They are a startup based out of Boston, MIT backed. The key differences between them is they still have the same format as in a big, fridge-looking thing that you go touch screen, you get your drink. The key difference with this is that they are importer-based, meaning the importer pays a flat rate for everybody. And so something we've learned from talking to people and business owners is that they don't want to pay a flat rate for people who may not be using it. And so this is why we adapted the membership to where it's only the people who want to use it are the ones who get charged. And the fact that we had the importer pay model, the price as well, that kind of gives them savings on their end in terms of any type of beverage service they even currently have. We operate on a printer-style menu, meaning the flavors are made inside the machine, mix and match as you need it, whereas other companies do a pre-mixed flavor. We have a universal smart bottle accessory that we're working on. So imagine you take your, where bottle you have, and we have a little chip, kind of like this right here, that will be attached to this, and you can actually walk up to the machine, scan it, and it will track everything that you drink. And so it will go with you wherever that bottle goes. So you can go to the gym, you can go to the store, you can go to whatever, and that membership will actually follow you with every cup you have, or a PIN number, because right now a personal PIN number you would punch in. So, and finally, at the very bottom, we designed it for Bevy is big in big metro areas. So your big tech hubs, New York, Boston, Silicon Valley, where the companies are venture-backed, meaning they have the money to essentially pay for all these fancy accessories for their benefits for their employees. We've learned that that's not the case in the real world. The employers typically don't want to spend money that they don't see a value on, and so we kind of based the revenue model based on that. That way we generate value for both the employers and for the employees at the same time. for a minimal cost. Okay, so the vision. The dispensers is kind of our phase one. It kind of builds the foundation of what it is we actually want to do with the brand and the company. We want to be a beverage accelerator for micro brands, meaning once we have a network of these machines out there and we have a strong customer base, we can actually go in and we can go to brands and they can say, hey, I have a market for you that's outside the traditional retail space that gives you the opportunity to cheaply and effectively get market research on your product and immediate consumer feedback on how people are using, drinking, and buying your product. So our ask is $400,000 for what's called safe agreement. I can go in detail about that later on, but that will give us 18 months of runway. Little breakdown of how we plan on spending the money. The first 3 to 5 months is ramp up. That means getting production ready, getting manufacturers online. That will build us around 150 units at $2,000 a pop with flavors. And because we understand that this is a risky venture, all three of us are planning to accept only $1,000 after we start production until we hit 2,500 unit users, in which case then we'll start ramping up our salary to match. Okay, so where we've been, we've actually been around the block a couple times. We've been featured in Pensacola News Journal in a couple articles. Innovation Coast Awards, we won second place in it for 15 grand. And then we've also been recognized both locally, nationally, and internationally. We were flown out to Rotterdam this time last year to be a showcase company at a conference on plastics for the EU. And so that kind of gave us our validation that this is something that might be possible. So back to Kelly was saying, this is what she saw. This thing right here in the power parking lot. It is a 800-pound eBay monstrosity we bought, so we can start prototyping. We had to stuff it, disassemble it in the parking lot, and put it into my co-founder's station wagon. And so, as you can see, it lost a lot of weight. We refined it, we tested it, all the way down to what you see over there in that little corner. And finally, this is the team, all three of us who have built and worked on this team for the past year and a half. Thank you.
Three questions. Where are the machines manufactured? Is there a cost to pricing machines and with subscription and contract?
So we're still working out with the manufacturer. We're trying to keep it local, and so I've actually met with someone from West Florida Manufacturers Council, like literally 30 minutes ago, to try to figure out and get that ball rolling. We want to stay as local as possible. It's kind of our thing. We want to be part of our community. As for the other question was contract time.
Contract, and is there a cost for placement?
No, there is no cost for placement. That $60 is kind of spread. That's what cost and is spread over the lifetime of the contract. We're thinking maybe a year contract, and that $60 fee can be waived if we get enough people to sign on. So for a particularly large area, like for instance, like Go Power or Navy Federal or anything like that, if they get a department and 40 people sign up, then we can actually waive that fee and give it to where the employer is free, and then the employees will pay that price or a discounted price. Yes.
So how do you sign up? Like my office gets a Neubev machine, am I going online and signing up? Is it
So right now we're doing it manually, just because it's very very ad hoc. The way it would work is kind of like the parking situation here. You would text "I'm thirsty" to a number, and then it will send you to a profile login page and create your profile, create your payment information, send it off, and then get assigned, or you create an ID number, your PIN number, and then it should be done. Yes.
What are the recurring costs for things like maintenance?
Negligible, like not much at all. Our pumps are medical grade, and so they're designed for I think almost 1 million revolutions, and so we might have to do severe maintenance probably once a year. And so it's really because we built this from the ground up, we have a very good idea of how everything works, and we've definitely done it the most efficient way possible in terms of money. Yes.
Is there a filtration system on the water that you're
Yep.
using to go into the drink?
Yes, it is a 3-stage customized filter system. We actually go whenever our plan is whenever we go to a new area, we actually will do a water test at that location and then customize the filters to that location. Yes.
From the maintenance perspective, cleaning and sanitation,
What's that?
cleaning and sanitation from the maintenance perspective?
Yes, so we actually will maintain the machines ourselves. So we plan on having a small crew that goes around because it's connected to our Wi-Fi, and so we track everything. So we know that 6 months from now the filter about to go bad, we'll send a crew out. We know when the filter's about to run out, send a crew, and part of that process is we'll clean the machine, we'll make sure everything's nice and sanitary, clean out everything like that. A lot of the parts we're using are like sterile. And so they'll remain sterile as long as we maintain the clearance. So maybe once or twice a month we'll come in and set it up. Yes.
Tim, is it okay to say simplify because you are a veteran?
Yes.
Okay, question on the psychology, the basic premise, which is conspicuous consumption in American society. That's a big part of the appeal to some of these products that are in bottles or cans that are on the market today. Whereas you just kind of eradicated that I'm walking around with my expensive, left coast product to show you how, conscious I am of these things. So when you take that away and you're going to put it in a container that you've got your branding on with the Wi-Fi or some sort of IoT, near-field communications technology, so how do you address that gap to overcome, if you will, with the psychology of the consumer, because you kind of eradicated that from the equation?
So I agree with you. And the scenario I see in my head is people walking around. And so what we've noticed is that everybody has their own cup. And so most of the time, and I can guarantee if you actually sit down and next time you go, what ends up happening is you'll go to Publix and you'll get a can or whatever, you'll end up pouring it into your reusable bottle anyways. And so any marketing potential is kind of already mute. I can understand from walking around saying one of people, oh, I'm drinking vegan water. Well, it's yeah.
As a follow-on marketing thought, the notion of co-branding your cups with sponsor brand relationships.
Yes. So the great thing about that is the RFID isn't built into the cup itself. It is an accessory that you can take off, and so you can have any type of Coca-Cola bar. You can actually have that little chip there, and you can mix and match it. And so you can have the co-branding potential as well. We can also co-brand on the actual band itself. So there's possibilities for that. Yes. I'm back.
So the chip, would that be something that's issued separately and paid for separately, or is that part of, is that a separate purchase?
Yeah. So RFID chips are cheap, and so from a promotional standpoint, we would probably just give it away as part of promotion, just so people will have it. I think we can get the cost down to less than a fraction of a cent per piece. They're not expensive. Yes.
What are the flavors sourced? Where do you source the?
Anywhere, because so that right there has been around for decades. It's the same type of technology that's been in your soda fountains, and so there are countless flavor houses and Coke packers that actually offer that product, just not in this market in this format. And so if we want an organic kombucha, we can actually go to one and have them specialize one made for us based on what our needs are, what our members want. Yes.
I wasn't clear. Do you have any of these in the wild? And if so,
Oh, we have that one right there. That's the first one we have. Our second one is we're taking all the data we've learned from that machine and we're modifying it for the final production run.
how many members do you have on that?
Right now we have 8. Yes.
Your production being done here locally?
Ideally. It's one of those things where we want to, but it comes down to cost and it comes down if it's possible. So, yes.
You're kind of going up against some global consumer drink companies that might be able to spend $1 million to 1 for advertising and marketing for what you're doing. So how do you think you're going to get
So the model is kind of counterproductive to what they're constantly doing, because right now, Coca-Cola and Pepsi the big guys have spent billions of dollars and decades of partnerships with the vendors, with the distributors and everything like that. They don't want to piss them off. And so we are kind of doing that right now. And so, but by kind of hitting them in their weak spot, which is i.e. their marketing power, which sounds kind of productive, but it's how we're looking at it, we're able to essentially get in there and hurt them where it hurts, and ideally get that traction before they go through, hey, either acquire us or something like that.
All right, sorry guys, we just out of respect to everybody's time. Our final question for you, Tim, is what can this community do for you?
So what can this community do? Aside from everything they've already done for us, i.e. help us stay in Pensacola. We've actually already got an offer for funding to move out to Silicon Valley. We don't want to just because we have family here. One of our co-founders, Rashford, the big guy, scary little dude with the stash. He has wife and kids, and so it's not going to be possible for us to move all the way to Silicon Valley to build his company out. Plus, we want to be a bigger impact. In Silicon Valley, they're down a dozen, and the cost of living and the cost of doing business is just insane. We want to stay here as much as possible. So if you have connections with potential investors, or if you have a business that would be able to support a machine like this, we can put it on the list. We have around 65 companies now who want a machine. We just don't have the money to put things in it.